Sterling Smith from Loot and Booty Barbecue. I'm back with my man, Phil the Grill.
Yes, Trap House Barbecue, baby.
What are we doing today?
Yo, we got these ribs, man. We got the ribs on
We
ribs.
are doing a pork rib throwdown.
Bum, bum.
We're working today with, we have these awesome Prairie Fresh prime pork spare ribs. They're already trimmed. A lot of the trimming has already been done for these. All we really want to do is clean them up a little bit. What you want to do is, I call it rip and grip.
That's it.
We're gonna grip and rip. So you grip this up. You want to make sure it's all released like that, and then what you're gonna do is just kind of work that membrane back a little bit, and see how it's releasing from the back side of the bone side of these ribs.
I like to also make sure on the front end, I'll trim some of the silver skin off. You know, try to make sure that I get a nice, clean, bite.
And you're right, what that does is allow the seasoning, the smoke, to get down into that meat and not have that protective barrier from that membrane. The next thing I'm gonna do is take my Loot and Booty Barbecue Everything Rub. You use it as an all-purpose rub,
Yes,
much like I do my Everything Rub.
Baby.
So I do the same thing on the backside. Take some of the Everything Rub, and you can see I did a nice medium coat. What I wanna do is just make sure it's seasoned all around the little pieces, all the parts. To me, I'm gonna let this sit out. I'm thinking 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes if it's colder, you can go a half an hour, start to let that sweat a little bit. But where we are right now, 10 minutes or so, we get these on the grill. Around 275, 300. I usually have them in the smoke for about 2.5 hours or so.
Yeah.
We're gonna foil them up. We're gonna do different foil processes. From that process, maybe an hour, hour and a half. Then we're gonna get the tenderness we want, and then we're gonna set our sauce and go from there.
Nah, I love it. That's it.
I say we get these on the grill.
Let's do it. Top rack, bottom rack.
I like to use a top rack, elevated rack. To me, if I'm gonna do some smoking or barbecuing, I love cooking on that top rack. So these ribs have been on the ledge now for about an hour and a half. At this point, exactly.
Look at that.
The mahogany colors what we're looking for.
Yes.
At this point, what I like to do after an hour and a half is just take my ribs. I'm just gonna give them a little flip. Do you do anything at this point?
Yeah, I'm gonna just do a little spritz with my little brown butter here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna actually let these go and just let it rock.
I'm gonna lay some foil, 2 pieces of heavy duty aluminum foil out on my table, and I'm going to sprinkle down a little bit of light brown sugar. I'm gonna pour some melted butter on that. We also have some of the Loot and Booty Barbecue Sweet Heat Barbecue Sauce, and some of the juice from the peaches. Long sides of the foil, we're gonna bring them together and crimp them down to create a really tight package on these ribs. Crimp one end closed, and then with the other end open, we're gonna take some Martinelli's apple juice and we're gonna pour about a 1/4 cup, 1/2 cup in, just to create some liquid in there so we can get our braising and steaming liquid. If I was looking for an internal temperature, it'd be somewhere around 205, 6 degrees.
That's about much.
So these ribs, they've been on for another hour 15 minutes. I probed mine. They're going in really nice and smooth. Yours were
Yeah,
as well?
yeah. No, mine is good. My last spritz, I'm ready to take mine off, glaze them up, throw them back on, get that sauce nice and tacked on it. Look at it.
Nice.
But see how shiny they are from just that brown butter?
Yeah.
Woo! So I'm gonna just hit the backside real quick with a little bit of sauce. It's just your regular sweet heat barbecue sauce. It's got a little sweet, a little heat. It's from honey, brown sugar. So it has apple jelly that I put in there, and it just kind of gives a sheen.
So from this point, you let that set, you put it back on the grill for maybe 5, 10 minutes
Yeah,
or so?
just so long as it's not sloppy, right?
So mine have been foiled, and then look at that.
Woo!
What I like to see is when those bones start to peek through, just like that.
Cool.
I'm gonna use a little bit of that juice.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take one of these guys.
Yep.
And just foil this in. And what I like to do is take that juice, because we have a lot of sweetness, and just thin it out.
Mm-hmm.
Cut each of them. We're gonna put them on this G-mat right here, and I'm gonna give them a little bit of extra smoke. We are at, what temperature, about 300 degrees?
300.
This is perfect for them. They'll take the heat. So we're just gonna let that sauce set. I'm really thinking about the next 5, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We're gonna pull them off, plate them, and eat them.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sounds
I'm
good.
ready. I'm hungry.
Well, we had these ribs on now. We're
Yeah.
setting the sauce in that last,
Yeah.
few 5, 10 minutes.
Them sticky ribs.
Tell me about what you're gonna do. They look, that sauce looks beautiful.
Look at that. These are the grandmama hands right there, baby. Woo! definitely cut them in the back, follow the bones, you know.
Through that's gonna tell me how tender they are. You know?
Yeah, these are good right here.
Do
We
one of
don't
these
get to
guys
stack
right
them
here.
up like this in that styrofoam box.
We don't. So we get to lay them out nice, just like that. And look at those.
Thank you for joining me today out on the patio.
always,
Smoking
always.
ribs on the new ledge grill.
Yo, next time bring the beers, bro. Don't forget the beers.
After the ribs. You know the GMG does it every time.
Every time, baby.
Cheers, brother.